All right, well, welcome to the Rise Up For You podcast. I'm Lauren Sweeney, our vice president, and today we are live at the SHRM National Conference here in beautiful, sunny San Diego. And we have the pleasure of being here with the co-founder of Turnover RX. This is Ryan. Welcome, Ryan.
Hi, thanks for having me.
We're so glad to have you.
Thanks so much.
So tell us a little bit about the problems and challenges that you saw that led you to develop your company. Obviously in the employee engagement space, high turnover, a little bit of workplace trauma, perhaps. Talk to me about that.
So a lot of it is workforce trauma is why we had this passion to launch this. We saw that, a majority of the reason why companies experience high turnover is either the employee or the manager. Oftentimes it is the manager in, our recent experience and so forth. So that's really what we focused on first was that self-reflection element for how managers can work through stressful situations, right? So we created different archetypes where they can identify with being a fixer, for example. That's what I resonate with. Where a fixer is someone who, sees someone that's doing something wrong, and then instead of teaching them and coaching them, they just jump in and fix it. So, that's just one of the archetypes. We also have how to deal with difficult employees. And then we also establish employee archetypes, where it's the almost pro, where they take something to 90%, but don't quite finish it, or why is this person always showing up late, even though you give them different special accommodations and so forth. So we really work through what the root cause of the issue is, and drive reflection through that, as well as coach different components of how to work through that. So we'll establish how-to scripts, and then we'll put it in your own words, and then work with you on what actually makes sense in your unique environment, so we can actually build that retention. A company is only as good as the employees that are in there. So
for sure,
oftentimes, we experience plateaus where we can only get to 20 employees, but we're trying to get to that 30 employee mark. Especially as a service-based company, your hours and your billable rate is what drives your revenue, and you need to keep people in the door and retain that talent. So in order to grow your revenue base, and that was really another reason why
the catalyst for really starting.
Yeah.
We talk about that a lot. Employee turnover, productivity, accountability. A lot of research from Gallup really states that employee productivity and turnover are directly related to leadership.
Right.
Often when we talk with executives, they often have blind spots in terms of their leadership styles, and they often are struggling with retaining employees and kind of like trying to figure out that missing link. What is that missing link that's going to have people be committed, be that intrapreneur, we like to call it, and like really feel a sense of like ownership, even though it's not their company.
True.
And I know that keeps CEOs up at night a lot. What do you think, if you could sprinkle a little magic sauce in an organization? And I know that's easier said than done.
Sure.
What do you see as a major issue related to turnover?
Honestly, it's empowerment. Leaders, they find themselves as not really leaders. Like oftentimes a manager becomes a manager because they're really good at what they do. They're a subject matter expert. They're a very good engineer, and they get promoted. That's the natural course of any corporation. So you're given this new role as a manager, and you have all these people to care after, and you didn't go to school for that. You didn't spend all your energy on that. So that's really what we found as the soft element of the people skills, right? That's the difficult part. So in most of the time, a subject matter expert wants it done their way, like a fixer like myself, where they see that this is how it needs to be done, and then if any deviation from that is going to blow up their mind. So I think that's the most important part, is that empowerment, is to give ownership to the employee, because once they own it, then they're responsible.
They feel it, and they want to grow it most of the time.
Exactly.
We talk about that a lot. You're good at your job, like the hard skills of your job, but I don't know how to lead. I just got promoted because I'm good at my job. How do I actually lead and develop people, right?
Exactly.
And so that is so key. How do we empower them to lead? How do we give them space while also giving them some tangible tools to be able to grow? So you started this company. What for you has been the biggest challenge in being a co-founder?
Every day is a new experience, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's every day is a challenge. Every day is a sales call. Every day is, you're flipping different hats and so forth.
No pun intended. You got your got turnover hat on.
Exactly.
We love it.
Right.
Yeah.
Fortunate, I have a background being in from investment banking and private equity. So we have, creating companies was my forte in that respect. So it's kind of doing that for ourselves. It's more fun in this role for sure.
Yeah.
Then, you're just putting the pieces in place, but now we are the pieces. So it's definitely a lot more responsibility and accountability, which we love. So
Awesome.
that's the most fun. We wake up every day and it's a new challenge. We don't know what it's going to be, a marketing day, a finance day, a sales day. Or a coaching day. So we look forward to every day, and that's just what fuels our passion to keep doing this.
So if you're a leader in HR, or maybe you're an executive listening, you're a CFO, COO, CEO, what would you advise people? And if they are struggling in this area, as most executives are, what would you recommend for them?
I would ask questions to your team. Just ask. They'll tell you. Like, that's the biggest thing. A lot of times, like leaders and executives and so forth, we all carry our ego with us.
Yeah.
And that's difficult to get through, especially when you're trying to listen to someone new or some new, bit of information, especially as technology and everything is changing so fast. That would be my recommendation, is just to listen to your team. Yeah. They'll tell you, empower them. Don't try to hoard all of the information and the responsibility.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that people delegate, is they just delegate tasks instead of ownership, right? So that's really what we need as leaders, is to disseminate that ownership and the responsibility, accountability to the rest of the team, rather than just tasks. I know Monday.com will have a fit with that, but
right.
It's but we really want managers to be empowered, to empower their team, to it creates that culture of ownership, right? So like you said, the CEO wants everybody to have that CEO mentality.
Right.
This is how you do it.
Yeah.
So
I love that. I think that's great. Come from a place of curiosity.
Absolutely.
Tell me more, asking good questions. Amazing, Ryan. Well, we'd love to kind of ask you a kind of closing question. What does Rise Up for You mean to you? That's the name of our company. We have, of course, our backstory on that. But when we say that phrase, what does that mean to you? Rise Up for You.
I feel like that's like, the all tides rise all boats. Excuse me.
Rising tide.
Thank you.
Yeah, flip
Right,
all boats.
all boats. Appreciate you. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
But that's really what it means. It feels like, to me, that's what it feels like, that you're lifting everybody up as the whole organization, the whole, cohort in that respect. So I love what you guys are doing, everything, all the content and stuff like that. That's amazing. So, thank you so much for having me.
Ryan, it's been such a pleasure.
Thank you.
And such an important conversation for leaders all around the world. Thank you for joining us on the Rise Up For You podcast. We'll see you soon.
Wow.